man is back.
Oh, okay, Jay boys, oh my gosh, the man got that stuff. This is a 5 out of freaking 5.
It is beat making time.
Next week is E3 week. My album comes out next week.
I have the leopard.
Look at that, my God!
This is your boy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens, y'all know who this is. This is your boy Dash the True Inferno. Back at it to another Call of Duty Black Ops 6 commentary video gameplay for you guys. And the NBA season is here. It's have already begun. I want to say we are pretty much a little over a week into the new season. And I've been meaning to give my NBA predictions, but it's kind of hard to do when the season first started because there really, to be honest, there's really only been 3 surprises that really have altered predictions. And I'm going to cover that as I give out my predictions. So we're going to do this by division. And ultimately, we're going to go over the conference. And then I'm going to, of course, talk about the playoffs, how they would go. And ultimately, I'm going to name my 2025-2026 national champions. So let's get things started, shall we? And y'all know how I like to do things. We're going to start things off within the Eastern Conference. And we're going to start off with the Atlantic division, rather. So, I got the Knicks winning it. Now, here's the thing right now. So, the Knicks are leading the conference, although technically, actually, it's a tie between them and the 76ers, who are off to a hot start. But nevertheless, at the end of it all, not only do I have the Knicks winning that division, but I see the Knicks getting the #1 seed in the entire East. So, there you go with that. Second place in that division are the 76ers. I got them winning it. Well, not winning it, but coming in second place. And then in a distant third will be the Boston Celtics. So obviously they lost a lot of players, whether because of injury or because of trades. But the Boston Celtics got an interesting future here in terms of how they will end up in the regular season. I'll get more of that in a second. Then followed by the Raptors and then the Brooklyn Nets. So there you go with that. Moving on to the Central Division. So the Central Division is crazy right now. There's like 4 out of the 5 teams, 4 of them all have winning records. And one of them only like have a losing record. That's the Pacers, who only have 1 win of the year so far after playing 8 games. But despite the fact that the Bulls, which is one of those 3 surprises that I talked about, they're leading the entire conference. In fact, they second in the type. Well, no, they definitively second in the entire league at 6-1. And we'll talk about the team who had the overall best record in the entire league in a second. But they do lead the conference as of right now. But at the end of the season, I don't see that staying the same for the Bulls. So, in fact, not only do I not see the Bulls winning the conference, I don't see them winning this division. I think the Pistons will get back to the division. So, yeah, I think after many years, the Detroit Pistons will win the Central Division. So, yes, I got them over the Cleveland Cavaliers, who will finish second. And then in third place, I got the Milwaukee Bucks. In fourth place is the Chicago Bulls. So, yeah, a massive free fall from where they are right now. And then the last place will be the Pacers. So, you're probably wondering, wait a minute. How did the Bulls drop from first to last in this division? Well, again, let's take a look at this. The Bulls currently at 6-1. They have a half game. Well, actually, the Pistons just won, so I'm not sure if this updated or not. But they have a half game lead over Detroit, who is in second in this division, who sits at 6-2. So that's where the half comes in. Then we got the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are at 5-3. They are a game and a half behind Chicago. And guess who else is a game and a half behind Chicago? The Milwaukee Bucks, who are also 5-3. So this division as of right now is incredibly tight, despite the fact that the Bulls have the best record in the entire conference and the best record in the division. It is incredibly tight. I mean, the season just started. So let the season play out, and you're going to see the Bulls free fall and the lights up. The Pistons, Cavaliers, and the Bucks rising past the Bulls as the season goes on. So I'm not really surprised by this. Now, moving on to the Southeast Division, we got the Atlanta Hawks. I got the Atlanta Hawks, rather, winning this division. Even though they're currently sitting in second, but they're only a half game behind Miami, which is actually, I'm not sure you can call that a surprise, but that is like because of the fact of how close this is. Like the Miami Heat are currently 4-3, and they have a half game lead over Atlanta, who currently at 4-4. So not much of a surprise there, but nevertheless, I got the Hawks winning this division. And then in second place, I got the Magic. So yeah, I got the Magic surpassing the Heat as well. I mean, the Magic is only a game and a half behind Miami. They're 3-5 right now. So again, too early to declare any division winners or anything like that. So there you go with that. And then in third place, I got the Heat, followed by the Hornets, and then the Wizards. So Who are my top 10 teams from this conference when it's all said and done going into the play-in tournament, that is? So I got like I said, I got the Knicks finishing in the first place. The Detroit Pistons finishing in the second place. The 76ers taking third place. And then we got the Cleveland Cavaliers in fourth. The Milwaukee Bucks in fifth. The Atlanta Hawks in sixth. The Chicago Bulls in seventh. The Orlando Magic in eighth. The Miami Heat in ninth. And then somehow squeezing in over the Charlotte Hornets. I'm not sure you call it. Well, I mean, yeah, we can call that squeezing in. The Boston Celtics. I got the Boston Celtics finishing at number 10. Now let's go to the rest, starting with the Northwest Division. So check this out. The number one team in the entire league is the defending champs, the Oklahoma City Thunder. They currently sit at 8-0. They got the best record in the league, so I expect them to win this division. Coming in second, though, will be the Denver Nuggets, which is where they currently are in this division. And in the third place are the Timberwolves, who are a half game behind Portland right now for that third place spot. Again, like a number of these records are like bunched up right there for the most part between Denver, Portland, Minnesota, and Utah. OKC at 8-0 is like got a 3-game lead over Denver, who is currently in second. So it's like, yeah, Denver could come back, but I don't see that happening. But nevertheless, I got the Timberwolves in third, and the Blazers, unfortunately, dropping to fourth. And I got the Utah Jazz in last place, who, by the way, just lost tonight to my Detroit Pistons. Moving on to the Pacific Division. This is where another one of the surprises coming to play. The Los Angeles Lakers lead the division. What? Without LeBron James? What? And they were winning games without LeBron and Luka. They won at least one game. So I'm like, okay, that's interesting. But despite that, I still got Golden State winning that division because the Lakers only have a 1-game lead over Golden State. The Lakers are at 6-2, Golden State at 5-3. So again, kind of close there. In third place, the Los Angeles Clippers. And then in fourth place, I got the Kings rising up and taking over that spot from the Phoenix Suns, who I got finishing their last. As of right now, the Suns got fourth place, but they got a half-game lead over Sacramento for that fourth place spot in that division. Again, relatively close. Can go, so there you go with that. Then in the Southwest Division, even though, as of right now, the San Antonio Spurs are sitting at 5-1 and lead that division, I got the Houston Rockets winning that division. I mean, again, the Spurs are only 1 game ahead of Houston, 5-1, 4-2. But I got the Rockets winning that division. I got the Spurs in second, though. And then in a distant third would be the Dallas Mavericks. So I got them going over the Memphis Grizzlies, because right now the Grizzlies sit in third at 3-5. Dallas are in fourth at 2-5. So again, Dallas is a half game back. So again, as the season goes along, I believe that this will play out differently. So I got the Mavericks in third, the Grizzlies in fourth, and Pelicans will be in their last here. Okay. Who are my 10 teams that I see going into the play-in tournament, at least, from the rest? So, we got OKC finishing with the best record in the entire league, by the way, number 1. I got the Denver Nuggets at number 2. The Warriors at number 3. The Rockets at number 4, edging out San Antonio. It was a close one. I wanted to say San Antonio, but I have a sneaky suspicion that Houston would win that division over the Spurs. But I see the Spurs get that number 5 spot. The Lakers would get number 6. The Clippers will get number 7, followed by the Timberwolves at number 8, the Kings at number 9, and the Mavericks at number 10. I really want to put the Blazers in the playoffs because of what happened with Chauncey. We'll talk more about that next week, but I just can't do it. I just can't do it. So let's talk about the play-in tournament, rather. So in the East, I got who I got? I got the Bulls in 7, the Magic in 8. So they're gonna play each other, and then I got the 9-10 matchup with the Heat hosting the Celtics, and I see them two play against each other. So I see the Bulls, the 7th seed, knocking out the Magic to hang on to the 7th seed. And then I see the Celtics, the 10th seed, going to roll and knocking out Miami, who is the 9th seed, setting up the battle for that number 8 spot, where it will be the Magic edging out at home, by the way, the Celtics. So the Magic will get the 8th seed going into the actual playoffs. Out west, I see the Clippers with the 7th seed. They will host the Timberwolves, who will be the 8th seed. And the Kings, the 9th seed, will host the 10th seed Dallas Mavericks. So here's how I see this going. I see the Timberwolves going on the road and beating the Clippers, believe it or not. So I see that happening. So the Timberwolves will get the 7th seed, The Mavericks will go on the road and knock out the Kings. So now we got the battle for the 8th spot, and it would be the Clippers at home knocking out the Mavericks. So I see the Clippers getting the 8th seed. Now, getting to the playoffs themselves, let's start with the East. I see the number 1 seed Knicks knocking out the 8th seed Magic in 5 games. That's going to be the least competitive matchup in the entire first round, East or West. Well, yeah, East or West. So there you go with that. Now, the number 2 seed Pistons, I got them winning against the Bulls in 6 games. I mean, those are division foes, so naturally they're going to play each other pretty hard, but I still see the Pistons winning in 6. The 3-6 matchup, I see the 76ers knocking off the Hawks in 6 games. And then finally we got, I don't, you can't really call this an upset, but just by seeding alone, this is an upset. The 5th seed Bucks knocking out the 4th seed Cavs in 6 games. Because here's the thing, when it comes to Donovan Mitchell, in the regular season, he can play. He can guide the team to a number 1 seed. But when it comes to the playoffs, nope, he's not there. And I expect that to continue here, assuming Giannis remain in Milwaukee, that is. So, yeah, I got the Bucks, the 5th seed, knocking out the 4th seed Cavs in 6 games. Second round, I got the Knicks knocking out the Bucks in 7 games. So, yeah, that's going to go the distance because, obviously, we got Giannis. So, I mean, come on now. You know Giannis going to fight hard, but the Knicks should win that one with home field advantage. And then I got the Pistons knocking out the 76ers in 7 games as well. Again, another close battle right there. But you have to question whether or not Embiid will be healthy. So that's going to be a factor right there because Embiid is injury prone. So there's that. And then unfortunately, the referees are going to make sure that New York goes back to the NBA Finals because people believe, oh, when New York is winning, it's good for basketball. So the referees are going to do something. Matter of fact, they tried to do something tonight, even though it was like late, last minute. But let me sidetrack y'all for a second. Even though the game was over tonight when the Pistons hosted Utah and the Pistons run the game, right? So this play doesn't really affect the outcome of the game or anything like that. It was pretty much over at this point. But it still doesn't change the fact that not just the NBA, but a number of these leagues do not like Michigan sports teams. A number of sports media do not like Michigan sports teams. Why did I say that? So aside from that, what is that? Roughing the passer call that happened this past Sunday. Don't get me started on that. In this game between the Pistons and Utah, a foul was called. First of all, like one of the Utah Jazz players was trying to shoot a 3, but his elbow made contact with Cade Cunningham's nose. Now, and they originally called it an offensive foul, but it was challenged. So the referees went to look at it. They actually looked at this call. They reviewed the call. So while I have no problem with them reversing the call to say, okay, that's not an offensive foul because Cade was like playing close defense. He was playing close defense. Okay, nothing wrong with close defense. I'm a big fan of defense. So nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, as a shooter, if you just straight up lift your arms up to shoot the ball, like what are you supposed to do if your elbow make contact with somebody else? It's one thing he leaned forward with the elbow to shoot, but that's not what happened. So I can say, okay, take the offensive call away. I have no problem with that. That's fair. That looks accurate. But then they made it worse. Instead of saying, okay, we don't have an offensive foul, they said it's now a defensive foul on a superstar in Cade Cunningham. Why? Because his nose touched the elbow. And I'm like, what kind of shit is that? You cannot make this up. So when you got crap like that going on, I can only imagine what would happen in the Eastern Conference Finals between Detroit and New York. And because of that, I do not trust these damn referees. I think they're going to screw Detroit, and the Knicks are going to go to the finals because, again, New York good is good for basketball and all that bullshit. So I see the Knicks going to the finals. Now let's get on to the Western Conference. Number 1 seed Thunder going to defeat the Clippers in 6 games. That's going to be somewhat competitive. It all depends if Kawhi is there, though. Because, you know, Kawhi is more or less injury prone. I'm not going to say he's guaranteed injury prone now, but he's more or less injury prone. So there's that. But nevertheless, Thunder winning 96 games. Number 2 seed Nuggets. I see them going to war with the Timberwolves. That's going to go 7 games, but I see the Nuggets winning that one. And then the number 3 seed Warriors would go to war with the 6 seed Lakers. I mean, that's the division matchup right there. That's going to go 7 games, but I see the Warriors winning that one. And then another divisional matchup is the 4-5 matchup between, as a matter of fact, we got 3, now that I look at it, we have 3 divisional matchups in the first round in the Western Conference. And 5 total if you include the 2 in the East. So that's pretty interesting. But I got the Rockets. I wanted to pick the Spurs. But nope, I got the Rockets knocking out the Spurs in 7 games. So a number of these games in the rest in the first round will go 7 games with the exception of that 1-8 matchup. Moving on to the second round. I got the Thunder knocking out the Rockets I mean, not the Rockets, excuse me. The Thunder knocking out the Warriors in 6 games. It's going to be somewhat competitive, but I got the Rockets winning. Not the Rockets. I keep saying Rockets. The Warriors losing in 6 games. And then I got the Nuggets knocking out the Rockets in 6 games as well, setting up the Thunder against the Nuggets. So another 1-2 matchup in the Western Conference Final this time around. But I got the Nuggets winning that one in 6 games. So our NBA Finals is set. It would be Denver against New York. New York stands no chance against the Joker. They have nobody that can guard the Joker. I see the Nuggets winning that 1 in 5, and I see the Denver Nuggets winning the entire NBA championship. So that's my NBA predictions right there. Let me know yours in the comment section below, and I'm going to call it a wrap now. So with all that said, y'all know what this is. This is your boy New J Gatsby, a.k.a. New Stephen A. Smith, saying peace out, y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Yeah.
Here